Deservedly in September at the World Championships. That concludes the summer. h264 just taking a little stroll forward there. Being introduced to the crowd. h264, 22-year-old, is the reigning world champion for the road mile. And I was looking at his CV last night, and get this, h264 raced every month last year except July. He was producing world-class performances in races of some kind or another in every single month of the calendar year last year, apart from July. Quite astonishing. And this year he's in fabulous form. He's already run a 3:46.9 indoor mile. He came second at the Melrose Games to Yared Naguse on the 8th of February. So expect something special from h264 here.
His destiny seemed to be a basketball player, but he got the advice to go and run.
Marco Arop being introduced there to the crowd by the PA man.
800-meter world champion.
Of course,
today he's going the distance.
He is the world champion at 800 meters. Marco Arop of Canada, still only 26 years old. Some of you listening to me will think, no, he pronounced his name Arop.
He has been around for quite some time now.
But I'm going to say Arop.
He's only 22 years old.
He is a fabulous 800-meter runner, the reigning world champion, Marco Arop. h264 with the reigning world champion for the road mile. That's from Riga 2023. We know he's in fabulous form. His dad is here. Spent a bit of time chatting to him yesterday. He's a bronze medalist from the World Indoors last year as well, h264. And this man is the Olympic champion from Kenya. He's only 20 years old. He's not a big fella, 1.78 m, 5'10". He'll be dwarfed by Marco Arop, who's a big fella. But Emmanuel Wanyonyi, super fast at 800, 4 times 141 last year. He won the short distance race. Is at the first Grand Slam track meeting in Kingston. He's in good form. Eventually they get underway there, Bjorn Gulden getting them going. Now, will the pacemakers do their job here? The pacemakers, well, there's only the one. It's Christian Harrison, his big burden for him. In fact, it looks like there's two out there, but we really need them to hack through this first minute and a half or so at super fast pace and make sure that those behind can hang on. Now, there's so much speed in the main protagonists, Wanyonyi and h264 and Prakel and Hoppel and Hoey and Arop. It's a wide open race in many respects, but there's so much speed over 800. I'd expect them to be able to go with a quick early pace and have the strength to come through in the second half and survive this well. So the world record beckons. It's 3:51.3 by Britain's Elliot Giles from Dusseldorf last September. That was a road mile where he beat Yared Naguse in 3:51.9. Can they here get the pace right? They really need to nail this and ensure that they're on track for the first 400 meters. Now it's important, 56.9 for the first 400. That is good, just about spot on. Doesn't need to be any slower. That last 200, 27.7. 3:48 tempo by the looks of things. That is world record schedule. They've set it up well with these pacemakers. Now this is critical, this second lap, and even more so the second 400, and even more so the third 400. Absolutely critical, but it's been set up really well. On the clock, they're almost at halfway in this one. They've gone to 600, 127. Now this was my worry. They've run that 400 between 200 and 600 in not much inside 60. So they have certainly slowed there after a really quick start. It is slightly uphill. They're coming up towards the halfway point. In fact, they should have gone through it now with well over 2 minutes on the clock. It hasn't yet come up on my screen, but nonetheless, they are pushing it hard here. And this is where they've got to be very aggressive. This third quarter, they've got to go hard here. That's a big pack. That tells me they're running too conservatively. Somebody, and it looks like Marco Arop at the front now, has got to really take the bull by the horns here. The last 200 was just waiting for that split to come through. At 800, 207, I can't believe it. Do they really run the second 400 as slow as that? That would be a real shame. No, I don't think so. So 1,227 is the information coming through. You can see Josh Hoey at the back there, Emmanuel Wanyonyi, who's in fabulous form, the Kenyan towards the front there, but it's Marco Rock, who's an intimidating figure. He's a massive fella, the Canadian, who's at the front at the moment. He's not an experienced 1,500-metre runner, but he leads at the moment. Let's go! Last 229 seconds, that's not quick enough. 3:57, the predicted winning time. Now Emmanuel Wanyonyi, the Olympic champion at 800 metres, hits the front, and they've left this late. 3:20 on the clock, and surely he's not going to be headed now, because this man is super fast. Negotiates this final turn and into the home straight, waiting for the clock to come up. 3:30 on the clock at the moment. Wanyonyi driving for the line here. Does a record beckon? The world record, remember, is 3:51.3. Wanyonyi powering towards the line here. Hans Kessler in second place. But watch the clock. It is going to be tight for the world record. 48, 49, 50. It may be a world record here. It's very, very tight indeed. Hard to tell. The clock over ahead of the finish line looked like it was a second or two ahead from what I recorded, and I thought I started when the gun went, but we shall see. It could be yet again a very, very near miss, as in the women's road mile. We're waiting to see. Goodness me, what have they done here? Have they got it right? 3:52 is coming through as the official winning time for Emmanuel Wanyonyi. He might have missed the world record by less than a second. And there was a point in the middle of the race, probably about a 600-metre section in the middle of the race, where they really didn't attack it. It needed somebody. They needed a pacemaker who could take them aggressively to the 1,000-metre point, get them over the hump, so to speak. I think that's the lesson for next year in the mile, is get a pacemaker in this race who can get them to 1,000, maybe 1,100 metres of the 1,600, and get them over the hump, the hill, because that's where they slowed. And I think they have just missed the world record here. 3:52, Emmanuel Wanyonyi. Hans Kessler, 3:54. Nico Young, a great third place for Nico Young. 3:54 as well for the 22-year-old American. Wow, he's taken down some big names today. Fanil Kipkosgei taking fourth place, and Collins Kibiwat Koech taking fifth. And then Bahanu, General Bahanu Ayansa taking sixth. Josh Hoey was back. He's more of an 800-metre specialist, that's fair enough. And Sam Prackle, 4:02. Not a good day for him at the races here today either, when you think he's a 3:34, 1,500-metre runner. But, wow, good racing nonetheless. Emmanuel Wanyonyi, though, well, it turned out, by their standards, I think, to almost be a tactical affair. I don't think the middle of the race was quick enough, and they have just missed a world record. What a shame. The same as in the women's race. Very, very close. But we do have that world record today from Agnes Ngetic. 29:27 in the women's 10K. A women's only world record by 34 seconds. Quite astonishing running by the young Kenyan. And that will be the main celebration of the day. There's no doubt about it. There have been national records. There have been area records. And an awful lot of personal bests. But I'm just looking at the splits in that men's mile, and it looked like 56.9 for the first 400, and then I think it was the second 400 that did the damage. It really looks like they ran the second 400 in about 60 seconds. There's a slight uphill in that. Back to Carrie with the winner.
All right, down here with Emmanuel Wanyonyi. Emmanuel, so close.